Hi, it's Angela. Let's talk about the CUPID or the side knee hold. We're going to go through some progressions that will help you kind of master the feel of this from standing before we take it off the ground. If we stand on the left side of the pole and I hook that right leg, I want to hook the leg in line with my hip. All right, so I do a lot of crunches in my training videos and we use this position. And so that's one of the things you want to get comfortable with is squeezing the heel to the butt, getting that deep knee pit, all right? And then the other key is being able to push that hip forward so that the knee and hip and shoulder end up being in a nice straight line. And you can use your arm as that kind of guide. So if I hook that leg hip height, I squeeze that heel, and don't try not to flex the foot, okay? You want to point and then pull that in towards your butt there. Deep knee pit. I'm going to take that hip and I'm pushing it forward so that my hip's nice and extended and flat there. So my shoulder, hip, and knee should be in that nice straight line. And if I kind of line up here with the camera, this line right here, knee, hip, shoulder, should be straight. If my butt is back too far, that's not going to allow me to hold this position. So I don't want this, I want flat. Everything's squished between two walls here. So just for strength and balance, you're going to hang out in this position, keeping your core nice and tight to protect your lower back. And you're going to use the weight of your arm going out, okay, to help build that strength and that side waist to hold. You're also feeling that in your leg. So if I turn to the side here, again, standing legs right under my hip for balance, slightly turned out, don't lock that knee, heel to butt, push the hip forward, cinch the waist, make sure this top shoulder, you don't want everything rolling over here. I want it to roll back, open the chest, open the shoulder, let the weight of that arm build the strength here to hold and support, and to bring it back up. That's key to getting in and out of your CUPID, is having the strength to enter and exit from that move. So switching sides so we can continue to kind of balance out. We're going to hook that leg, again, knee and hip in line. I'm going to turn it out, squeeze the heel to the butt, push the hip forward as I lay out to the side. Again, that's my goal, is to keep this straight line here. I don't want my butt sitting back. I don't want to be folded at the hip. So I really want to get used to being in that position. So once that starts to build up the strength, then what I do to progress with this training is to bring that standing foot into the base of the pole. And you want to just be cautious of your knee and your joints always. But when you're in your CUPID off the ground, that standing leg is angled towards the pole, and that becomes a push, and the weight that's hanging off and away becomes a pull on that knee hook. So I want to get comfortable in this position. So just kind of find where it feels comfortable for you in standing here. Again, I'm driving that leg into the floor, into the pole. Top arm or inside arm is going to come low, right about knee, just above the knee. I don't want it up here too much, I want to bring it down here, because my goal is going to eventually be to let go of that arm as I'm in this CUPID. So I'm going to push that hip forward, again trying to flatten, rolling that shoulder back. It's going to start to pull those fingers off the pole. So I'm going to allow myself to feel the strength and balance there. Maybe the weight of that arm out, bringing that back up. So again, nice strength drill to work towards that CUPID. So I want to feel that out. What I'm trying to get is to feel that triangle space of a push and a pull. So from my knee to my hip and even out to my shoulder and that extended arm, that's all the weight pulling out and away. And then that force is also going to push down that bottom leg and that bottom foot to create that push-pull that's going to lock and hold me in place. So if we feel like that's starting to click, then you're going to move that up off the floor. So you want to be comfortable with your side climb. So I'm going to take that side climb just up off the floor. And one thing to note as well, when we're getting into that Cupid position, we don't want the leg to be hooked too high. I'm just going to end up too close to the pole and sliding down or hanging on that knee, which is going to put you at risk for injury there. I want to make sure that I can get that distance from the pole so I can create that triangle that's going to balance that push-pull to hold me, okay? So that's one point to keep in mind as you take it off the floor. The second point to keep in mind is that you want to get horizontal. If your weight stays vertical over top of everything here, gravity's going to pull you down. So right away we want to try to get out so that our body weight is shifted outward, which is then going to angle down that leg and into the pole and is going to balance you, okay? So I'm going to take that side climb up. I'm going to hook, place that foot, allow myself to get horizontal. That's just kind of step one. Again, I don't want my butt sitting back here, so I need to be able to push it forward. All right, so I'm going to set this back up a little bit. So I hook, plant that foot, and you want to angle that toe down the pole, okay? So not so much a flat foot here or flex foot, kind of pointed and angled. And then I'm going to squeeze that heel towards my butt, replace that hand, start to push the hips forward here, okay? I am squishing between two walls. When you need to come out of it, you can drop into a thigh rest or jasmine position. I can, if I'm close enough to the floor, which I'll slide down here, just pivot and plant. But I'm always trying to be cautious of that bottom shoulder. I don't want it jacked up. I don't want to be jammed on it. And I'm watching my knee, my hook knee, so it doesn't get tweaked as well. So if you're not close enough to the floor, you could also pull back up, rewind to where you came from, and back up into that side climb. When your feet, the common problem people have, myself included, is that your feet get too sweaty and slippery. All right, so do what you gotta do to make that happen. But let's look at it on the other side. So again, trying to get in line, create that triangle space, get the weight shifted away. Everything nice and tight and strong. So if I'm taking this up on this side, I'm going to hook, get horizontal, okay? Bring the hand in line with the knee. Don't sit the knee back, push it forward. I'm gonna try to angle this way so you can see. Squish between two walls there. And out, and up. You can pull up and slide down to come back out. So your Cupid again, trying to create a nice little triangle space. Body weight's gonna shift away. That's gonna create that push through that foot. And you are trying to keep that push-pull with the body weight shifted out, but you're squished between those two walls. You wanna be tight in this little narrow space, not with your butt back, okay? So you're pushing it forward to squish. Demo one more time over here. I hook, plant that foot, get horizontal, push the hip forward, angle that toe down, squish between the two walls, maybe release, coming up. You could spin down, step down, jasmine, thigh rest, something like that as well. All right, side knee hold, Cupid.